All right, let's take you now to the SARS National Command Center where President Cyril Ramaphosa is addressing the media. Let's listen in.
I was actually bowled over just looking at the capability and the efficiency that SARS has developed into. Post-state capture, we can be proud that much as the state capture people tried to destroy SARS with a sledgehammer, SARS has survived that. It has been rebuilt, repurposed, refashioned, and is serving the people of South Africa with great distinction. And I have paid my tribute to the Commissioner and his staff for the success that they are achieving on many, many fronts, including on increasing the collection, tax collection among South Africans, and making it easier for South Africans to pay their taxes through the various platforms that they have set up. But more importantly for me, including how they are setting themselves up to fight illicit trade. It's very complicated, as I've come to see now, but they are well geared and they're doing a fantastic job. And the other issue is the level of cooperation that they are now working through with various other agencies, criminal justice agencies, as well as the private sector. So this is an incredibly valuable institution in the state sector architecture. We're very, very proud of what we have witnessed here. And I've also said that SARS is a pace setter. They are a model builder. They are showing us, as various state agencies in the country, exactly how to use technology, how to use artificial intelligence, and they've set up a wonderful command center which gives them a line of sight of everything that's happening, from current news to actually various provinces, how tax money is being collected and how trade is happening. And they are going to help me set up a command center at the union buildings, which will make me have line of sight on everything, including all of you, as you do your work. I will know what Heidi has said, and we will know everything that is happening in the country, in our provinces, in our local government, whether we're making progress on our priorities or not. So this is a great institution, and we're glad we saved it from state capture destruction.
Mr. President, if you can respond on the issues of the Madlanga Commission and that witness, and also the criticism you have faced with regards to that interim report and the recommendations that you've made so far.
Well, the Madlanga Commission issued an interim report, and I have studied it, and I've accepted the recommendations, and the work of the Commission continues. There are a number of people who are still supposed to go back to the Commission as well as to the committee in Parliament. And I know people have specifically asked about Minister Mkhunu. And I have said I am waiting for that process to be completed. And it's going to be completed in 3 months. And then I am then going to respond to all the recommendations. So people are impatient over a 3-month delay. And right now, as I said, the recommendations will be implemented, and have also directed the minister to set up an investigative team. And yes, there have been criticism that the person who will lead or they will report to is the commissioner. The commissioner himself might be implicated. We're going to watch all that. We're going to watch that whole process with a hawk's eye. And I'm not going to, in the end, let the Madlanga Commission report or recommendations not be implemented. The work that is being done there is far too fundamental for the restructuring of our police service, and indeed our criminal justice system. And let me say, people have always been very critical of us, of alleging that we don't implement recommendations of commissions. The Nugent Commission made recommendations about how we should reform SARS, and all of them, bar one or two, have been implemented. We have implemented the recommendations from the Nugent Commission. We've made sure that there is no political interference when there was, that the commissioner acts independently when the past commissioner was trying to be influenced by others. So those recommendations are being implemented, and we will continue to implement recommendations. The problem at times is that people focus on one issue. Like right now, they're focusing on Minister Mkhunu and are not looking at all the other recommendations. And when the time comes, and I tend to act very carefully, when the time comes, I will also attend to that matter. And it will be based on all the recommendations that will have been made. So criticism, yes, can be made, but I do my work. And we've done my work when it comes to the Nugent Commission on the SARS matter. We've done our work when it comes to the Mpati Commission, when it comes to the PIC. And we're doing our work when it comes to the Zondo Commission. The Zondo Commission has made recommendations on a number of issues, including legislation. And we've passed legislation. We are preparing more legislation. And we have an ongoing report. The issue is people want to see what happens to big scalps. And that whole process is part of our criminal justice system. And we don't just scop and donor. And I wish we did, but our laws do not allow us to do that. Now, if the people of South Africa want to change the constitution to allow scop and donor and do that, well and good. But they will be the first to scream. We don't want a dictatorial president. So this president is working in accordance with the rules. Thank you. You wanted to ask a question.
Just briefly, succession plan for SARS as the commissioner exits, especially because his term was extended.
Just looking here, Mr. President, at the guy here. This one. Can I take that one?
Oh, I should look at you. Yes. Oh my. Oh yes.
Can I take this one?
No, the minister will take this one.
Not a problem, sir.
Okay, could we ask another question? Do you have time for one more question?
For sure. No, I do have time.
I just have a...
No. Let her ask. Let him answer her question.
As you are aware, the president his commissioner is appointed by him, but the president has delegated the function of the recruitment process and so on to me, and I'll make the recommendation to the president. As you are aware, we have appointed a committee and in a panel which is headed by former Minister Nene. When they looked at the interviews of 19 people, they came up with one person who was outstanding. They thought that is unfair. They proposed to me to do a further what is called head hunting so that the interview must be balanced. We think that by the end of February, there will be a new commission.
Don't get hot under your collar. The succession issue of the commissioner, this man who's done a fantastic job, is being well handled, well managed, and well thought through. And he also tends to say, the commissioner should be like this, but maybe a bit more handsome than him.
Has extended AGOA, of
yes.
course, with the inclusion of South Africa, but we're unclear if what's happening in terms of the tariffs, the 30% tariff. Are they still valid despite the renewal of AGOA, and which items still apply in terms of the 30% tariff? Can you give some clarity?
Well, AGOA has been passed by both houses. It now is going to, I think, President Trump's desk if he signs it. And it is in accordance with what the two houses have passed. South Africa remains in AGOA, and my guess is that the tariff relief that we get from AGOA will apply. we are still in discussions with the U.S. Trade Department. So our discussions are ongoing, and they will, I hope, will lead to a finalization of a deal between South Africa and the U.S. I'm not so sure about the items that are affected. The Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition will have a better line of sight on that. So, Heidi, going back to your question about somebody, a witness survived a hit.
Yes.
I mean, obviously we are appalled. We are terribly appalled at attempts that are being made by those who have been doing wrong things against witnesses. And we want to tighten security much more so that those witnesses who are giving evidence online should not be easily identified. But it is completely unacceptable. And this is the reason why we set up the Madlanga Commission, so that we can get to the heart of all the shenanigans that are happening with regard to these gangs and these entities that are trying to capture the police.
Okay, thank you, colleagues. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So when will we see you again?
By the way,
When you invite us again. Bye, Mr. President.
Thank you.
All right, live visuals there outside the Brooklyn National Command Center. President Ramaphosa lauding SARS, telling the media SARS is serving the people of South Africa with great distinction, having survived state capture. President Ramaphosa is, of course, today on an oversight visit at the National Command Center of the Revenue Service, speaking there on the importance of SARS as not just a revenue collector, but a pace setter through their utilization of the latest state-of-the-art technologies in their line of work. So essentially an institution of pathfinders in many respects.